Morning folks, it is 10 to 7 on a very damp morning. There's nobody here at the moment, so I'm leaving my bag at the door to get going. I need to leave their key as well. I don't even know where I'm supposed to put it. I might just go down and stick it on the room. It's going to be a very wet day by the looks of things. The dog hasn't shut up all morning. Yeah. It's going to be wet out there. I was going to wear a wee beanie hat to keep my head warm, but as the weather is so wet, I'm just going to head on and stick this hat on me. So we've reached Lagonde. It's the top of the hill, hopefully, and then we'll be heading down for a wee while. I guess I should sort of talk about the accommodation last night. There weren't really any photographs online to show it, and probably for a good reason. It did look promising when I went into the bar upstairs, but when I got shown to my room, it was very much a single bed and a bathroom. The room was absolutely freezing, and it was damp as well. There was, I don't know whether it was the plaster or cement rendering or what they'd done, but like it was literally coming away from the walls in places. The bedclothes felt damp, though at the same time there was about 4 or 5 layers, so clearly they knew that the room was freezing, especially during winter. There was no radiator or heater in the room, so I got the idea that it might have been an original house which had sort of the barns underneath it for the animals, particularly cattle in that area, and that's what they'd converted. But it cost €45. €45 for a damp bed and somewhere to poop. Wasn't good value for money, and although there probably was dinner upstairs because they had a kitchen, I don't know if they use it or not, but I was just so annoyed I didn't go for dinner, which is probably my own fault. You know, should have just bit the bullet and got on with it. It is what it is. But no, I wasn't happy. So, set off this morning, not exactly in the best of moods, but I've had tougher mornings, and everything's wet. Everything, even the cover of the pack, is dripping. We've been walking in this cloud of rain for quite a while. Thankfully at the moment we seem to have come up high enough that it is just mist. It's been held back by the trees really, which giving us a wee bit of ease from the rain and drizzle. But as I'm walking, I have this cover on my 2 bags here, but the water can easily be running down the back into them from a rain jacket, so this is where a poncho would have been handy. But over the years that I had been walking the Camino, I never once used the poncho, so this time I didn't bring it with me. At the same time, one of my main concerns this morning is that if it is wet, that my shoes get wet and ultimately the socks get wet. And when the socks get wet, the feet get wet, and that can help with developing blisters. And no, I don't have a spare pair of socks being carried with me. They're in my bag, which by the end of this afternoon will be 30 kilometers on the route. So I need to get there, which is why I'm just going to keep walking as much as I can. I will get something to eat, get some coffee, but I'm not going to be hanging about. I'm going to be pushing on and hoping that the light breeze that comes and goes helps move this cloud on and it all dries up a bit so I can dry out. We have just over 77 kilometers left to Santiago. I need to get that down into the 50s today. Have it again tomorrow, which is Saturday, so that I can walk in relatively fresh on Sunday. I'm in 2 minds whether to try and push early on Sunday morning and get in for Mass at 12. That could be a bit of an ask, but it is very possible. Danielle won't be in until about 5 or so. So at least I'll have time to get a shower and get myself cleaned up. And here comes the driving rain again, so I'm going to turn this off and hide it away. We did pass through a very small area there called Oliveros, and immediately my head went to "Never gonna get my love for you, I don't know by now how much I..." And then I realised, I know it's not Glen Medeiros or Ben Medeiros or something. So I'm gonna say 80s that song was out, but it's dried up a wee bit. As long as you're out of the trees are dripping, so nice big droplets of water over everything. I'm not convinced this rain jacket actually keeps out the rain anymore. I'm gonna have to reseal it when I get home, but I think it's getting closer to time for breakfast. If there's nothing here, then I'll of course keep going, but could do with a wee coffee right now. Let's see what's available in the town. So far, nothing is the answer. Exactly what you don't want to find in wet weather. somewhere nice and wet and slippy and muddy. Oh. This is the sort of terrain that really messes with your feet. But what I do like at this point is that the towns are close together, and it helps you feel that you're getting somewhere, and the kilometers don't seem as long and drawn out. But this is going to be slow going. Frig. Oh. So that would be one part that I would say stay to the road for another 3 minutes and it'll swoop round, because that's not exactly a comfortable drop. But anyway, onwards. So the short answer is no. Nowhere's open. Past a couple of places there that are cafes or pensions or albergues to have a sign out on the road saying that they're open, but they're not open. And there's a lady behind me that checked a couple as well. You can just see the disappointment on her face as she walked away from the door. The rain's picking up again too, so this is probably going to be the wettest day on the Camino so far. At this point I'm really tempted just to stick on some music and just power through it, but at the same time I don't really walk with headphones in. I like to listen, hear the cars coming, hear the wildlife around and the farm life around. Keep going. First place open this morning, so time to get something to eat. Absolutely everything's soaking. Hat's soaked through, rain jacket in the arms soaked through. The one thing I can say when I'm walking is that my core is warm, so I'm not really feeling cold. I've had 2 coffees, tostadas, orange juice. I have some of the electrolyte stuff here with me as well, which I'm going to drink as I go. So hopefully that'll tide me over. Palais del Rey is about 5 kilometers from here, and then Melita is another 15 after that, and then I have to walk on about another 5, maybe more, to where I'm staying tonight. So I'm going to get going. What a day for it. Everybody that comes in is soaked to the skin, and it just keeps on dripping. Interesting to see these all along the outside of the church grounds as opposed to within them. My bag should be on that van. Should be. So I've made it to Palace already. Absolutely soaked. You wouldn't believe that. Went there, the church said a wee prayer, got a stamp and everything, walk out, and literally the sun was shining there for a moment. So I missed the sunshine. I'm going to continue on. Hopefully this is the sun burning it off, or the breeze moving the rain on somewhere else. I am soaked head to toe, literally soaked through. This is not a rain jacket, even though it was bought as a rain jacket. It hasn't stopped the rain. When I lift my arm up, I can feel the water dripping along the inside, both arms. I can feel the water around my toes, so not good. I'm going to get going. Such a long distance still to go from here. Pretty much 20 kilometers, so not looking forward to it, especially when I'm drenched. Not good. So that's us leaving Palace Del Rey. There were a number of shops there that I probably could have bought a poncho. Well, yeah, I could have bought a poncho, but as everything is already soaking wet, it would have been pointless. I'm drenched, and whenever I stop, I'm getting cold. I'm feeling the breeze, which is not good because that's how you get sick. So I'm going to hope that this sun heats up things. It is feeling a wee bit muggy on my face, so hopefully that means that my body will get the heat up as well and evaporate some of this water off. A pilgrim must have been cold. Rain. Lots and lots of eucalyptus trees, but no koala bears. Disappointing. Didn't know it was a place as well as a person. Casanova. There's another one of the eucalyptus plantations. Eucalyptus was initially brought to Portugal and Spain as a building material for building your houses and things like that. That was before they realised that it was also extremely dangerous during the summer months. If there was a fire, then the sap in the eucalyptus would boil up and explode, and whenever it exploded, if there was fire close to it, it would pretty much spread the fire even further. Nowadays, eucalyptus is mainly used for paper, so a lot of that will be cut down and sent to a paper mill. So that leads us on to the current situation. There's quite a few signs along the Camino about pollution, and it relates to a proposed paper mill in Galicia, which in the process of making paper there's a lot of chemicals, and what they're wanting to do is to put this paper mill on a river, take the water out of the river and pump the water back in again. Now of course the paper mill's going to say that the water's going to come out clean and fine, but we all know that's never the case, especially whenever there's large amounts of money involved. So there is a campaign to try and stop it and prevent it, to try and prevent pollution in the rivers, because apparently the rivers here in Galicia are some of the cleanest. The air is some of the cleanest in Spain because it's coming straight off the Atlantic. Lots of the trees here have moss and lichen growth on them, which is an indication of clean air. So I think that the people are justified in their apprehension and campaigning against it. It would be lovely to keep the miles down on the paper, but at the same time you gotta prevent water pollution as well, especially whenever it's a river that lots of people swim in, especially during the summer months. Farmers use it for their crops, which people then eat, animals then eat, so contamination is very easily transmitted. And as you can guess from the way I'm squinting and possibly raindrops on the screen, it's still raining. It's been pissing it down for the last 20 minutes. It is definitely the wettest day I've had walking on the Camino ever. Nada. Buen camino. Oh. I think they scared the life out of that fella back there. Such a small bridge, and they're racing through here. Don't blame them in one sense. We'd all love to be out of the rain, but not at the expense of someone else. Absolutely drenched again. Absolutely dripping. Shorts, pants, long sleeve top, rain jacket, rain jacket, socks, shoes, hat, hair, everything soaked. All I can hope is that the electronics are okay. Less than 60k. Just hope tomorrow the weather's better than today. Not even sure how I'm going to get the stuff dried out. Hopefully there's a tumble dryer at this albergue I'm going to. And if there is, I'll pretty much have to stick everything on to wash nearly. I've got a spare t-shirt, spare pair of socks, and a spare pair of boxer shorts in my bag, but the trousers from yesterday needed washed. They were extremely dusty, and everything from today needs washed and dried because it's a mixture of rain and sweat. So I think I'm on the outskirts of Melide now. Still paying. I'm powering through. I have got more water. Haven't been filming as much the last sort of few kilometres, but we're now below 60, so we're nearly in the home straight. Looking forward to it. Also looking forward to maybe some sunshine tomorrow if it can be arranged. Please. Pretty please. Slippery slope down to this old bridge. There's more posters about what I was talking about. The company Green Fibre want to build a large cellulose factory disguised as an ecological textile fibre production plant. So what they write on the application and what it actually is might be two different things, according to some people. Oops. Still got about 4 kilometres before I get into Melide proper, so still a while to go. And then out the other side and up hills again. But looking that direction, there seems to be a bit of a lift in the clouds and a wee bit more white cloud as opposed to the grey stuff that we're under here. Fingers crossed. Some of the crack from the school kids singing has been quite nice actually. To hear them having fun and enjoying it. And their distinctly Spanish accent when they're singing English songs. I love it. It's always good crack. I'm concentrating these streets because they're a lot of puddles and dodgy stones. But it's quite a steep descent again. Making sure I'm holding on to everything quite carefully because still be slippy from earlier on in the rain. Hopefully it'll all dry out. I've got my hat drying on my walking sticks, got my jacket back on, and hope of drying it out. It did actually dry out really quickly while I was having lunch, so I put it back on because I needed a windbreak. My top underneath soaking, and I was really feeling the chill. In a kilometre or two, if the sun stays out, then I might well take it off, just because I'm sure it's going to get steamy underneath this. But yeah, let's crack these next 5 kilometres out and get washed, get a shower, lie down, tend to my feet. I'm sure that there's more than one blister now. I'm pretty positive that there is. On we go. Yesterday we passed kilometre 100, which means there's only 100 kilometres left to Santiago. Today I'm going to pass through kilometre 50 as well. It's a lot of distance covered walking, more than I think I've done on any other Camino, but it's all part of the fun, isn't it? Pushing yourself. Buen camino. Lo siento. They're always good crack. I don't mind the cyclists. Clearly some more sensible than others, but it's all good. We're all going the same place, same intention. I think the smell around here, it's great. Between eucalyptus trees that smell lovely to wild mint that grows, it smells fantastic. And there's another smell in here. I'm not sure what it is, and it isn't the cattle that are over in the field beside me. But it does smell good.